Vivek, there's something in the news today showing that she was asked about whether she still holds her earlier espoused position on amnesty for so-called dreamers, and she refused to answer. She refused to answer Axios. They just wouldn't take a position. She was asked, her campaign was asked, because she doesn't get asked anything, whether she still stands by she wants the taxpayers to fund sex change operations for illegals and also prisoners. And their position was, that's not something she has said in this campaign, with no acknowledgement of her latest position as espoused by her is that she's in favor. She's never said she reversed it. So, right, this is the disrespect of the American voter that we just don't get to know. They have no entitlement to understand her positions.
It's just, so there's two things going on. One is that they believe her positions don't matter. In some deeper, ironic sense, Megan, that kind of is true, actually. I don't really see her as an ideologue anyway. I see her as a cog in a system. She's another puppet, like Biden was a puppet. Frankly, like most politicians and even historical presidents have often been puppets. She's another puppet that's going to be wielded by the special interests that have put her up. So in a certain sense, there's like a deep, ironic truth to the whole thing that her positions don't actually matter. But put the cynical view to one side. The other thing is the disparate treatment of a lot of her statements versus things that Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or whoever have said, right? So you hear about the conflicts in, the media's uproar over claims of what's happening with Haitians in Springfield. You get a cats and dogs controversy or whatever. What about Kamala Harris making completely unfounded claims, even in this campaign, that women are bleeding in parking lots? Just can you provide one instance of that actually happening? That's a pretty severe thing to say is happening in the streets of America, in front of healthcare clinics, that women are left to bleed in the parking lots. It's exactly stuff that she has said. Pretty graphic, pretty specific, not a shred of evidence to suggest that type of thing is happening. So on one hand, if somebody makes an off-the-cuff comment about what's going on with Haitians in Springfield, that's going to be the entire news cycle for an entire week, supposedly fact-checking that, without an iota of even fact-checking the things she has said even during this campaign, many of which are factually just downright false. There isn't a shred of evidence to support it. And so I think the thing that's going on with Kamala Harris, a few things. One is that she ran to the left of Bernie Sanders in the 2020 election. I don't know if those are her actual beliefs, Megan. I don't think she has a particular ideology. I think it almost is giving her too much credit to call her ideological. I think the deeper issue in American politics is that the people we elect to run the government, they're not really even the ones running the government. So in some sense, Biden's cognitive deficits, in the same way they weren't a bug, they were a feature to the people who managed him. The same thing goes for Kamala's policy deficits, right? Her policy deficits aren't really a bug. They're a feature for the people who control her and are likely to continue to control her if she becomes the president.